Ladies and gentlemen, everyone, welcome to you. You're watching another episode of Encounter. Today, here we have Dr. Shaykh Noor Kabbani, who spreads the message of Sufism around the world. So we can say he's a specialist of the Sufi culture. Dr. Shaykh Noor, a very warm welcome and thank you for being present here in the studio of the MBC. Or should I say, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you. I'm very honored to be here.
You're from Michigan.
Yes, Michigan, USA.
You're from Michigan, USA, and you're also a doctor. You're a medical doctor, an MD.
Correct.
And how do you're a doctor, but you also spread the message of Sufism around the world. So do you do both at the same time?
Not recently. I have stopped doing medicine 2 years ago. And then I switched myself totally to spreading the message of Sufism around the world.
So now that we speak about Sufism and the Sufi culture, of course we have to make reference to Mawlana Jellaludin Rumi, where the Sufism culture became very prominent as from the 13th century in Turkey. All his quotes, the poems he wrote, the dervish dance, the twirling. So it's a very interesting topic. I should probably share this with you. 3-4 years ago, when my encounters began, it was called another program. It was called In Search of the Self, and the very first program was on Mawlana Jellaludin Rumi. So this is a great sign. So tell us, you've come to Mauritius also to spread the message of Sufism.
I was invited by my dear friends that they already established Naqshbandi Haqqani Sufi order of Mauritius. And they asked me to come in and share with them what I have learned from my masters.
How popular would you say is it in Mauritius?
I think definitely almost 90% of the people that I've encountered, they have roots of Sufism deep in their hearts.
And you're spreading the message of Sufism. What are the main teachings of the culture?
The main teaching of Sufism is to be, like you said, Mawlana Jellaludin Rumi, is to connect to the source of love. The source of love comes from heavens and manifests itself on earth. So we try to reach to heavens and then come a second time on earth to spread that love.
Why is it important to reach to the heavens and then come back on earth?
Because you have to drink from that fountain of love, know what it is, taste it, and then come back and show people how to go up and reach themselves and taste it as well.
So in a way, would you say that we're doing our homework to be able to have a taste of it and then come back again?
Yes.
How do you work on it to be able to reach there?
You have to find somebody that already reached there. That saint that reached and came back to earth to take more is the one that you have to find on earth. That's our quest. The quest of Sufis begin with finding the perfect Murshid Kamil, they say, or Insan Kamil, the perfect peer. That peer has tasted that love. That peer is not anybody. That peer is like Sayyidina Jalaluddin Rumi, Mawlana Jellaludin Rumi. He tasted that source of love, and then he came down to earth to take more, to taste that source. So your quest on earth, our quest on earth, is to encounter the perfect peer.
Encounter. So in a way, you are helping people get on the path towards the heaven. You're guiding them.
I am trying to take them to my peer.
All right.
I'm not the guide. I'm not somebody that can do that. No. I try to guide them to my peer. I tell them, come join me and see my peer. Be with my peer, my murshid, my teacher, my master, my guru, or whatever you want to call him.
Yes.
And he will take you like he took me. That is my message.
To be able to follow the Sufism culture, do you have to be of a specific background, or is it open to everyone?
It's open for everybody. There's no requirements. Your only requirements is to have a heart that wants to reach love and peace.
And to be able to understand the teachings of Sufism, of Rumi, and everything that he's wrote about. Of course, in general, people know the outside aspect of it, but when you go deeper, it is absolutely interesting, and you might lose yourself in so much of knowledge.
you're trying to reach the point of knowledge. Our path, as is described by our masters, humanity is a circle. And each one of us is situated on this circle, a big circle,
Yes.
and there are points on the circles. Each one of us is a point on that big circle of existence. We call it Da'iratul Wujud.
Which
The
means
da'ira, the circle of wujud, existence.
Existence,
Each one of us is a point on this circle.
So we're all connected through this point of circle.
Yes, we are all connected. As human beings, we are connected. We are connected how we look, and also we are connected on the inside. Our quest as human beings is to start to move. That's why we are moving. That's why the galaxies are moving, the universes are moving. It's a sign that you have to move. Move where?
Forward.
Forward. And forward means where?
Forward and higher.
Forward, yeah, forward and deeper. So basically every point on the circle has to reach the center. So you will have so many lines that can come from the periphery of the circle to the center. But not everybody reaches the center. Not every line reaches the center. But when a person is on the circle on this end, and the other one is on this end, when they start moving towards the center,
they're converging towards the center, right? Yeah.
And when they converge towards the center, they start getting closer to each other.
Because they have more affinity to one another.
Right, because they're directing themselves to the same source, and they're coming closer, and they meet in the source. So all of humanity is supposed to meet in that one point, in that source of love.
The point of love, as you mentioned earlier. What would be, let's say I do not have any experience, I do not have any knowledge, what would be the first thing you would tell me to start moving towards that point of light where humanity meets?
Humanity is supposed to know about that light. So God gave us a mind.
Did you say that humanity is supposed to know?
To know about the light.
Why do you say supposed to know?
Because we don't try to know about the light.
You're trying to say that we used to know, we don't know anymore?
We used to know.
So,
before we came to this earth, we knew our Creator. We knew the light. We knew the love. We knew the peace. But when we came onto earth, we were veiled. We have covers. These covers have to be taken off.
When you say veils and covers, are you referring to the materialistic world?
Yes.
So we are blinded by many other things except
We're not
from the
blind.
pure light.
We're not blind. When you're in a room and you have curtains, you cannot see the sunlight.
You will know the sunlight is there, but you cannot see it.
But sometimes if the room is very dark,
you will not
know the sunlight is there. Especially if they put wood, sometimes in hurricanes and cyclones, on the windows, you board it up. So you cannot see anything outside. So you don't know if it's day or night. So these veils, if they're very, very thick, you don't see the light. You are restricted within your body. Our bodies are prison. We are supposed to break out of our body. In Sufism, when we are reaching deeper and deeper, the soul breaks out of the body.
There's one saying from Jellaludin Rumi where he says, keep breaking your heart until it opens.
Yeah, Mawlana Jellaludin Rumi has so much wisdom, we cannot understand everything he says, but only through experience, then you can refer to what they have said and you say, oh, this is true. So that's what we're trying to do. We have been veiled and we have to try to break that wall.
So what would be the first thing you would probably suggest to me if I were to start removing the curtains or removing the darkness? Not to get a flashlight, right?
Yeah, no, not that one. Not that one yet.
Yes.
It's very simple. All prophets have come to say that there is something that has created all of this. And the way to find out who created all of this starts with finding out the traces of his actions. What are his actions? That's what we are supposed to find out. So a human being was given a mind. A human being has to say, okay, why is the moon every day or every month is very the same? It does not change. You don't see a new moon that is full moon right away. Every month it's organized. Like
it's the perception that changes. The moon does not change, but it's the view that you have of it that changes.
It can. But what I'm trying to say that you have to find from creation who made this. Why is it so organized? Who designed it? Nowadays, you design a watch and you say it's a precision watch.
The moon also is precision.
Why? Right. But who made it? We did not make a moon. We don't make moons.
That's a very interesting question.
So who made the moon? People don't ask that question. So the prophets or the messengers or the teachers, they come, they say, first of all, you have to find out what he actions. What are the actions of God?
So who made the moon?
We believe
we're still trying to figure it out?
they have theories.
Yes. What are the theories?
Big Bang.
The Big Bang. Fantastic. So I'll return back to my question. So what would be the first thing to remove the curtains?
To know God by his actions.
All right.
And that's what I'm trying to say, that, okay, who gave me 2 eyes?
God.
That's what we start to say, that somebody given me 2 eyes. Because not everybody has 2 eyes. Some people they're born with 1 eye.
Yeah, some people are born blind.
They're born blind. So who is determining who gets the eyes and who does not? There is a system. There is a creator. There is a force. There's an energy. So people, when they get stuck, they say nature. When they're stuck, they say nature. Because they cannot go beyond, but they confirm the existence of nature. So if nature was a reality, it has to be God. It has to be the one that created.
That makes sense.
So that
it came from somewhere.
It came from somewhere. And they say nature most of the time, but we say no. It's beyond nature. There is a creator, somebody that created nature as well. Why does the apple tree every season brings out apples? Why not the next season oranges?
Because
why not?
It's an apple tree.
How come it's always an apple tree? Because it has a code. It has genes.
Because it was an apple seed that was planted.
Right.
Which has the DNA and
right.
the
it
code.
has
right.
the code.
Yeah.
So who put that code in that seed?
I don't know.
That's what we don't know. That's what we don't know. So curiosity, that's why God gave us mind and curiosity. We always Google, let me find out more, let me find out more. So God want us to work the same way, but finding about Him. What did I create? Who created the weather, for example, the rain, the sand, the universes? There's something there. So when you get that in your heart, you say, maybe I should know more about Him so He doesn't take what He has given me. Because some people don't want to lose what they have.
Yes, that's a fact
right.
of people nowadays.
And they say, actually, I want more. So if there's something that has given me this, why don't I take more of that something? So how do I reach that one to take more? Because we like to take more.
In terms of curiosity or in terms of material?
Material and spiritual.
So you need a balance.
Balance, right. So the peer, we find somebody to guide us, so we find a teacher. The teacher will take us through that path, and the more we know about our Lord, the veils will open.
It's like an onion you're peeling.
Right.
Layer by layer.
Layer by layer. And that takes time. That doesn't happen overnight. That takes time and effort. And a lot of exercise, they say. A lot of meditation.
Now you're speaking about meditation. Is there a specific way of meditation that you practice or you would advise people to practice?
We practice what our religion tells us. So I am a Muslim. I practice the Muslim practices. Within the Muslim practices, there are things that are done by moving the body, but there are practices are done by not moving the body, rather moving the heart and the mind.
So you have active meditation and non-active meditation, if you would call it. So
you can call it that way.
Active is when you move, and non-active is
when
you
still.
say still. Exactly.
Still, your body is not moving. You're using your mind and your heart.
So the dervish dance would be an active meditation where you're moving.
Yes, that's active meditation.
All right, all right. So probably because the active meditation, you can see it visually. People are more aware of these kind of meditations. What about the ones that you sit? How do you proceed?
There is in Islam there's 2 concepts. One is called zikr.
Zikr.
Zikr,
Okay.
which is remembrance.
Remembrance.
And chanting chanting. And the other one is called tafakkur.
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 Okay.
Thinking. Contemplating. They say contemplation.
So the contemplation is more about a gratitude type of meditation?
Contemplation is as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said it, as God has said it in our holy book, وَيَتَفَكَّرُونَ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. They think, they contemplate about the creation of heavens and earth. These are the signs that you have to know your Lord by.
That makes you very humble when you contemplate on such things, because you connect a lot to everything that's around you.
You have to. You are part of the universe. You are not independent of the universe. Everything works together. Harmony. A human being has to be harmonious with his surroundings and with the universe at large. And actually, when a human being reaches his full potential, the whole universe goes inside of him. He engulfs the universe. He surrounds the universe. He becomes the universe. A human being at his... That's why Mawlana Jellaludin Rumi, he's showing to you that he has become the universe because he's universal.
Wow, what
He's
a great
universal.
man. And that was in the 13th century. It was a very different world back then, and he was so enlightened. Can I say enlightened?
Of
He
course.
was enlightened,
Of
right?
course.
Yeah.
He reached that point of light in the middle of the circle.
I wonder how he would have been if he was present now.
He is present now.
He is already, I mean, physically present, because then he's...
Physically, he's sleeping.
physically he's sleeping.
He's sleeping in his grave. His body is not allowed to come out yet, but his spirit is not
Yet?
Yes.
So that will come out again?
We believe in a day of judgment where everybody stands in front of the Lord and they get their rewards. You have an examination, and then you have a time that they will give you your scores.
I hope I'll be there. I'll get to meet Mawlana Jellaludin Rumi then. But yeah, no, but the fact that all his poems are still very relevant nowadays, all his teachings are still here. So yes, he's still here in terms of he's affecting the lives of people on an everyday basis. You mentioned the first thing to know is the ways of God. That would be the first thing.
The actions.
The actions of
The
God
actions
would be the
of God.
first thing to know. What would be the second thing to know?
The second thing is where the actions came from. These actions' origins. The origin of any action is your characteristic. For example, you like to help people.
All right.
You are a helpful person. You are merciful to animals. You are a merciful person. So your actions tell me your insight. Tell me your characteristics, attributes.
Yes.
And so the next step, when you know the actions of God, the actions will lead you to His names and characteristics. That's why we say Ar-Rahman, the merciful, the compassionate. Ar-Rahim, the merciful. Ar-Razzaq, the sustainer, the one that gives provisions.
All right.
Al-Hayy, the one that is alive. So these are His names and characteristics. So actions will lead you to His characteristics and attributes. So He has given you power. Why now you have power, but when you're 60, 70 years old, don't have power?
You age?
Okay, they say age.
Yeah.
They say because the body gets weaker.
Yes.
Why does the body get weaker?
It's the evolution of life.
The power is being taken out. Whoever put the power in, it takes it out.
See, from what you're saying is there's a reason for it?
Yes, there is a reason. You are born weak. When you're a baby, you're fresh. You're 1 month old.
You know, nothing. There's nothing.
There's nothing. You don't move.
It's empty. Yeah, yeah.
So it's not the age, because a 1 month old baby, a 2 month old baby is very fresh and young, but don't move until like they're 3 or 4, and then they stand up at 6 or 7.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, stand up means just like put weight.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not the age. It's somebody that puts power in the body, and somebody that takes power out of the body
After a certain age.
after a certain age. So somebody has the treasuries of power. That's why we call him Almighty, Allah Almighty, or All Powerful. That is one of his characteristics. So his power, he inserts it into human bodies to understand that my power, I was a little kid, I needed all the help I needed. But when I was now in our 30s and 40s, we are strong.
Very strong, at the peak of our physical bodies.
Right.
Yes.
So we say who put that power in us and who takes it out. So these actions show you the attributes of the Lord. That's why we say the all-powerful.
This is a very interesting question. So you believe that it's the God that takes away the power, but gives you spiritual power?
Everything comes from Him.
So as we grow, we get more spiritual. So even if we lose in terms of physical, we grow in terms of spiritual power.
Yes, we can. We can.
We can.
We can. If we practice the right meditation the right way, we can. Otherwise, we don't.
So we learn about the actions of God.
Then we know his
we
characteristics.
know the characteristics.
Where
We
the
know
action-
where it originates
Right.
from. And probably the next one you would say is we understand it. We
ne-
study them.
We be with God.
You be with God.
Right. You can never understand God by yourself. You understand God by God.
So even whatever we think now, what is God? We probably don't know what is God because we are not at that point where we understand what is God.
Yes, we are not at that way. As human beings, we cannot understand God. We are a creation. He is a creator. There's a boundary.
There's a boundary.
So we cannot cross that boundary. He is the God. He's the creator.
We cannot get closer to Him.
You get closer to him,
You get closer to the boundary.
right?
Yeah.
And then he blesses you,
Yeah.
and then you know him by him.
So that's where the judgment day comes, so that when you will know if you gotten enough close or not.
But you can know before that.
Of course, of course.
You
of
can know
course.
before. Judgment day is when we die. We all believe that we're gonna come up. All human beings come up and stand in front of God, and God will tell us our scores. But God, we believe that He is very merciful. On that day, what will happen? We don't know, but we believe that He is merciful and He's gonna have mercy on everybody.
Dr. Shaykh Noor, what would you say is the main concern nowadays?
The main concern nowadays that I see is that people don't understand the value of love and human rights. When you have love, you respect. You respect everything. When you
Everything, everyone.
you respect the insect.
Of course.
When you have love, you don't, let alone human beings, which we respect. But when we have love, we were taught by our peer, you cannot even crush an ant. Why you want to crush an ant? What did it do for you? Nothing. It's just going around finding its food.
And it's also part of the whole universe. It's there for a reason. It's just doing what he has to do.
Right. So what's missing in human beings nowadays? Not everyone. No, we found very beautiful people.
Oh, they're beautiful souls also.
But majority, let's say, because we see how the world is on fire. The majority of the world has lost that love. When that love doesn't exist, there's no more human rights. There's no more respects. There's no more animal rights.
Is it because of a lack of understanding?
Lack of love.
Lack of love.
No,
So you
no
call it love,
empathy.
no
Yeah.
empathy.
If I
Yeah.
love you, I won't hurt you.
Of
Why
course.
should I hurt you?
Yes, yes.
But if there's no love, then it's easier to hurt, to hit, to steal, to push away.
So nowadays the biggest problem is the lack of love towards everything.
Right.
So-
Towards everything, towards the environment, towards the sea,
Towards everything.
towards everything.
So you're going around and trying to spread the message of love?
Of love. That love, and this is the message spread by so many religions. Love thy neighbor, they say. Love your neighbor. So basically we go around, first we start love your wife, love your husband, love your family, love your father and mother. Love your family first. After you love your family, you expand to the community. After you expand to the community, you expand to nation.
Yes.
And then the nations, and then the whole world. So we start with love between families, get them together again.
So doctor, one of the main issues is the lack of love and understanding which comes along. What are the other things missing which you think would make the world a better place?
Of course, we have to go through love, mercy, and respect.
The world is very angry nowadays.
Everybody is angry nowadays, yes.
Is that because of stress? What would you say is the
That's
main-
because of greed. Everybody wants everything for themselves. Because they want everything for themselves, that doesn't end. If you have 1 million, you want 2 million. If you have $1 billion,
you want
you want $2 billion. So to get the $2 billion, what happens? The world is limited. The resources on our planet is limited. So if somebody takes something, the other one will be deprived, will not take it. So because it's limited resources, everybody fights. So that's what's the problem nowadays, the greed. They are not content with what they have. They want what he has, what she has. I'm talking about not only human beings, but countries.
Yeah.
Countries, they want what other countries have. They want to dominate everything. They want the whole world. So once they have the whole world, they say, oh, we need now Mars. We need now the other planets.
Dr. Shaykh Noor, one thing I haven't told the viewers is that you're of the direct lineage of Mawlana Jellaludin Rumi from your mother's side.
Correct.
So you have Jalaluddin's blood within you, if I may say. So we have come to the end of this episode. What we'll do is we'll speak a bit more about this in the next episode. Until then, if you have any queries, any questions on the topics that was discussed on the guests, please drop us an email at encounter@mbc.itnet.nu. Until then, take care. Goodbye.